But where to start? I want to start with a little bit of England, really, because we did well to get to the semi-finals. Most people didn't think we would. It was a difficult game at times. What did you make of it, Kate?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't the most interesting game I've ever seen. There was a slight improvement, I think, from what we've been witnessing. But we did what we had to do. At the end of the day, at this stage of the competition, it don't really matter as long as you win. And we did. So I can't really say too much negative. I thought Saka was outstanding. Gave us the performance we've been waiting to see. So yeah, I mean, just Pickford stood up to saved one of the penalties, so earned his money. But yeah, I thought it was, like I say, not the best performance, but we got the result. Gone way further than I thought we would, and yeah, on to the next one. 2 more to go, hopefully.
Yes, fingers crossed. Two more to go. Henry, I know we've spoke a lot about England in the build-up to this. The football still hasn't been scintillating, but it did feel there was a little bit more control for large parts of the game. Eventually, the substitutions were made, and Bukayo Saka. I know what might hurt for you to say it as a Spurs fan, but he really steps up in a massive knockout game for England.
No, I'm happy saying it. Bukayo Saka put the nation on his back, and it was like a vintage Arsenal goal. It was, bottom corner, outside the box, left foot. It's what he does best. It's just the only part of the game is we have to go a goal down for Southgate to react and make substitutions. Their manager made subs, I think, 14 minutes before they got the goal. But yeah, it's just Southgate, boy. It stinks. It's horrible to watch. But like I said, backstage, by hook or crook, we're in the semi-final. And I actually think we're going to stink it against the Dutch. And then who knows? Who knows? We've been here before. Last time it was Italy. That Spain team, I think if we get them, it's going to be a long day at the office. But who knows? France haven't played well and they're in the semi-final as well. So it's stinky, but 2 games and we're there. And it may just come home. It may just come home. For the love of God, it may come home. So let's just have a bit of a little bit of faith.
What were you saying, Colleen? I mean, obviously, I don't know how much of it you're watching over there in Colombia, but we know we haven't been impressive, but we are in the semi-finals now, and they say that at this stage of a tournament, anything can happen. Do you feel it might come home, or is that a little bit premature?
I mean, considering the awful quality of football that we've been watching, it bloody better come home, and I'll come home with it if it comes home. Because honestly, I've been following all the games, and a part of me, when the Swiss went 1-0 up, I was thinking, okay, well, at least it's over. At least it's over. We haven't gone further. We haven't gone to the semi-finals. I don't have to watch these poor performances or these reactive tactics from Southgate rather than proactive. But you can't help just get your hopes up and start to feel it's coming home after Saka scoring and winning the penalty shootout. And as you say, France have been awful, offensively anyway. So if it's good enough for them, well, it should be bloody good enough for us. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely. And obviously, there's been a little bit of, I wouldn't necessarily call it fallout myself, but, Diane Abbott and Rio Ferdinand and people, Gav, sort of showing support to our penalty takers. And I will say it's probably the best penalty shootout I've seen in my lifetime England have in terms of confidence, quality of penalties, the goalkeeper saves as well. And after what happened to Rashford, Sancho, and of course, Saka, it's been a bit of a weird sort of, the likes of Rio have kind of been attacked by some people on social media and some of the media for sort of making it about race. But yeah, I thought what he did was absolutely the right thing to do, because we knew what kind of torrid time those individuals would have been in for had they had missed any of those penalties and England went home.
One awful week for the gammon. Can we just say that? Labour winning the election. Then five black Donnies winning, scoring penalties. And yes, Cole Palmer is black. And then Lewis Hamilton also winning the F1. What an awful week for gammon. But it just goes to show that, you can't always... Practicing penalties is one thing, but then doing it under the pressure is another thing completely. But the practice was there clearly because all 5 penalties were executed expertly. And not just that, just the camaraderie when you saw them back on the halfway line, when they were walking down towards going to take the penalty, the S-housery from Pickford beforehand as well. I think everything was just there, ready to win that penalty shootout. I don't think they're. I think this is probably the first time in a long time that there was very little doubt that I didn't think that England were going to win that penalty shootout. But why it got to that point, I don't know.
Yeah, that element I agree with. That element I agree with. We had so much of the ball in the game. We dominated so many elements. We're just struggling to. You are right. I think it may have been Henry earlier. So as soon as we go a goal down or there's some adversity, we kind of attack and we looked a better team. And if Southgate had made those substitutions a little bit earlier and we'd have taken the initiative and scored first, I would have been overall really, really pleased with the performance. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one up against the Netherlands. I mean, they've not been. I don't know how you see it, Roy, but they've not been, particularly better than us either, if that makes sense. It's not as though we're going up against a well-oiled Dutch team. Do you fancy our chances on Wednesday night?
Well, I do fancy our chances. I'm not sure if I want us to win, though, because I get 240 quid if Netherlands win the Euros because of the sweepstakes didn't work. So a small part of me does want
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
However,
this is why reforms on the rise. Like you, boy. Get out. Get out of here.
I was born and raised here, so obviously I'm going to root for England. Yeah, I've watched all of Netherlands games. I think, again, they've not really been anything special. They've probably been a bit better offensively than we have. But also, we've seen that they can concede goals. Conceded to Turkey. Conceded 3 to Austria in the group stage. They're not defensively as solid as Spain are. So I definitely do fancy our chances, and I think now's the right time for us to really show that, okay, cool, we can play well enough to get the job done, but at this point performances do matter because you're facing someone good. We faced Denmark, Slovenia, Slovakia, Serbia, and not being our best and getting over the finish line was good enough. But against France or Spain, we're actually going to have to play well to win. France won't let you off the hook if you don't play well. Spain definitely won't let you off the hook if you don't play well. And Netherlands, I expect the same thing. So I do fancy our chances. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see Luke Shaw, because I really do think the left-hand side will spring into life if we can have a left-footed left-back who knows what to do going forward, is solid defensively, because let's be honest, we've all been complaining about Trippier the whole tournament. So if we can get Luke Shaw back in, then I think that will help a lot. And I don't think we should be scared of them. I think if it goes to penalties, I back us. I didn't have a shred of doubt that we were going to score all 5. I didn't think Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, Jude, Saka, Tony, and Trent were going to miss. I knew they were all going to score. So it was just up to Pickford to get that one save to get us over the finish line. So if it goes to penalties, I back us. But I do think now is a time in this tournament where you've got to start seeing performances, and scraping over the finish line is good. It's good enough against the quality we faced so far. But if you look at that final 4 and the way we've been performing, it won't be enough to get the job done in 90 minutes or extra time. So, I fancy our chances, but we definitely do have to improve.
Yeah, we certainly want to go up another level from what we're seeing. And if we've got the talent to do it. And if this England team could click, go up another gear or 2 over the next 2 games, there is a genuine chance that football could come home, the trophy could be here, and 58 years of hurt could end. And I mean, it'd be a beautiful thing. As I say, we've been over here. The football terrace has been over here the whole time, and that the England fans have had the vast majority. Yes, there's been a few clips and bits that have gone out, but trust me, we'll talk about this more backstage. But KJ and the lads here have been like, the English have had their moments, but some of the other nations, some of the songs they were singing, some of the things they've said, our media just don't report on it because it's not it's not in a language we understand. Some of the songs have been mad, trust me. But I hope we do it, and I hope we can get over the line, and I mean that would really hurt some of the gammons as well. It'd be great. It's true, and I want to say this. A few people in the comments saying, "Why is it even a thing?" What Rio said. Let me just say this now. I said it backstage. I'll say it on camera. If you're offended about racists being mocked, what does that say about you? He isn't talking about if people that are not racist. So if you're offended, maybe you got to look in the mirror a little bit. Take a little look. It shouldn't offend you. It's kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. deep it for a minute. If it offends you, maybe you've got a problem. Because it certainly didn't offend me. Anyway.